This is the Sony ZV-E10, and this is the brand new Sony 11mm f1.8. Could these two be the best lightweight vlogging combo in 2022? Let's talk about it together next. So I'm so excited today because today I have the Sony ZV-E10, and Sony just sent me out the brand new 11mm f1.8. These two together might be the lightest vlogging combo that you can get on the market. What's really awesome is that the Sony ZV-E10 is super lightweight. And this 11mm lens is also extremely lightweight. This thing is so light that putting these two together is lighter than my Sony a7 IV all by itself. Now this lens goes down to an f1.8. It's got a 55mm filter thread on the front, and it's got a minimum focusing distance of about 1/2 foot. All right, so I want to step back inside real quick to give you some specifics on this lens. This is an 11mm lens with an f1.8 aperture. It can go down to an f16, so that f1.8 is going to give you very nice shallow depth of field. Now on this side, you do see the Sony logo. This is a native lens for the Sony APS-C system. On the opposite side, we do have a focus hold button along with autofocus manual focus switch, and you can see that it does have a focus ring, which is smooth. Not super smooth because this is a standard lens, not a G lens, but it's smooth enough where you can get focus pulls. On the top here, we do have the front lens element. As you can see, it is a 55mm filter thread along with a minimum focusing distance of about 1/2 foot. Again, we do have the 11 and the f1.8 aperture logoed right here on the front. So you will need a 55mm filter thread or use step down rings to achieve that 55mm size. It does come with the standard Sony plastic lens cap. And on the back of the lens, as you can see, it does have electronic connections because this is an autofocus lens. And I can tell you that the autofocus is snappy and quick, just like any Sony lens that's been made in like the last 2 years. It's super reliable, super sticky, and it's going to do a great job. Now I have mounted this lens onto the Sony ZV-E10. This is a super light, super compact vlogging setup. So this is something that will be very handy, very nice to carry around if you're going to do an all-day vlog. Now this lens alone does come in at a 181 gram weight or 6.4 ounces, which makes it a very light, super compact, ultra durable lens. Now the Sony ZV-E10 does weigh in at 343 grams or 12.1 ounces. So combined, this total package is going to be about 1.5 pounds or just under 500 grams. So again, this is going to be a super light, compact vlogging setup, and you're not going to have any problems walking around carrying this lens for an all-day vlog. Now I will say, as we look at the front of the lens, it does have 7 round aperture blades, and it does have 12 elements and 11 groups. So this thing is going to be super fast, super reliable. Now this is an APS-C lens. So what does that mean? That's going to work best on your Sony APS-C sensor. Now that's going to give it a 1.5 times magnification. So this 11mm is going to act more like a 16.5-ish full frame equivalent. Now when you throw the active stave on from this Sony ZV-E10, which does have a additional 1.44 crop, it's going to be about a 24mm equivalent. Now what we'll do is we'll head back outside, and I'm actually going to use this lens in this camera combo to show you exactly what the image quality is going to look like coming out of this lens. Now, I do want to thank Sony for sending me out this lens so I could test it out for you, along with sending me out a loaner for the Sony ZV-E10. Now, this is the 11mm lens on here with no active stabilization. So this is about a 16mm equivalent. This is the field of view that you would see on a normal 16mm full frame camera. But right now, it's an 11mm APS-C camera. So how does the image quality look? I currently am shooting in the S-Log2 profile, so hopefully we're getting some decent dynamic range. And I did put the Peter McKinnon variable ND filter Signature Series 2 on here to, of course, make sure that I have the proper shutter speed. So now this is what the lens would look like with the active stave on. Now it is a 24mm equivalent, full frame equivalent, when you put this active stave on. So the 11mm becomes about a 24mm. Now it's still good enough for vlogging. You can still see enough behind me to see what's going on. But if you had shorter arms, it would be a problem. I do have pretty long arms, so it does allow me to really stretch it out. Now, because this camera and this lens combo are only about 1.5 pounds, they're a little bit less than a pound and a half. This thing is very light, very nimble, so you're able to walk with it very easily. So as you can see, I'm now walking with the active Stave on. Now I do have my arm almost fully extended. It does have a little bit of shake to it, but not too bad. So it's definitely usable even in a walking situation. This prime lens is really nice because it does offer you a little bit of low light capability. Now the APS-C lineup is not going to be as good in low light as full frame, but a 1.8 lens, that's going to do a great job in low light. It's starting to get kind of dark. I mean, we're pretty much in pretty close to the twilight time frame, and I think the image still looks really good. So do me a favor, comment down below on what you think of this lens, and is it something that you're looking to pick up? If you are looking to pick it up, it's about $550 right now, and it is available for pre-order. Links are in the description below. Feel free to use those links as they do help support the channel. Now, I do want to thank you for stopping by, and this has been kind of my semi-review of the Sony 11mm f1.8 lens, and I do want to again thank Sony for sending this out to me. Also on the horizon here, we have the Sony 10 to 20mm f4 APS-C lens, along with the Sony 15mm f1.4 lens. These are both brand new lenses. I'm going to do full reviews on these as well. So if you're interested in seeing those reviews, do me a favor, go down, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And while you're down there, do me a favor, hit that like button. Lets YouTube know that this was a good video and it should be shared with others. So I really appreciate you stopping by. Again, subscribe for these videos coming up soon. If you have any questions or concerns about this lens or even the Sony ZV-E10, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna like the video on the screen now. It's about another Sony lens. Feel free to click on that video and I'll see you on that one next. Thanks for watching.